Hi, Ukulele Mike here with Ode to Joy by Beethoven. Classic melody. In the earliest part of this video, you heard a fully formed chord melody arrangement that I played and did a tutorial on a year or so ago. In this video, we're going to concentrate on just the single note melody of Ode to Joy. This is yet another episode in the series of how to read, interpret, and perform from tablature notation, which I've said in the past will open up a whole new world to you as a ukulele performer. So now let's take a look at the tablature that I played earlier on just a few moments ago in this video, and we'll talk about it a bit. Recall, when looking at this format as I have laid it out, I have the standard notation on the top stave and I have the tablature notation on the bottom stave. Now the reason I have the standard notation up there is twofold. One, for those who are comfortable with reading and performing the notes on the ukulele from the written note in standard notation, it's there to be played. Also, tablature doesn't do a good job at rendering the time values of the notes, such as a dotted note or a half note or a whole note, because the heads of the notes have a lot to do with how long that note is held. And in tablature, the head is, of course, a number. It's just a number. So in my particular program that I use, it does show the flags for the 8th notes and the 16th notes. It shows the dots, but it doesn't show the half notes. It doesn't clearly show whole notes, and so forth and so on. So I have it in standard notation above to help you understand the time values of the notes. Once again, the 4 horizontal lines in the tablature indicate the strings of the ukulele. The bottom line is the 4th string, the one closest to your chin, the G. Now, a little note about this. Some people play ukulele's tuned to a high G, the 4th string is high, an octave higher, or an octave lower. And I've had many people question as to whether my chord melody arrangements particularly will work on the low G tuning. Well, as long as the melody does not go to the 4th string, then it doesn't matter. The melody in all of my arrangements basically is played on the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd string. I try to avoid the 4th string for that very reason. So the only difference is that in a low G tuning, you'll have a mellower sound, a little bit more bass frequencies. It'll sound very nice and pleasant. But with the high G, it sounds just as well, and you can perform the whole arrangements equally on high G as low G. Once again, the numbers on the strings indicate the frets where you put your fingers. If you see a 0, that means that string is played, but it's played open. So at any time you can freeze the frame on that tablature and practice it. Bear in mind, I will be posting this on my blog site, allthingsukulele.com, and I will have a PDF file that you can download and print out to use for yourself, or if you've got a group of students or your uke group and you'd like to teach them how to play Ode to Joy melody with the tablature, it's right there to be had. So once again, let's look at and listen to my performance at a very slow rate of Ode to Joy by Beethoven. For your enjoyment, here is a reprise of the full chord melody arrangement that I did several years ago, along with a tutorial. I am going to take some time to further explain this aspect of tablature, which is that using chords, not just the single melody. Beethoven's Ode to Joy is another one of the tunes that I selected for the new chord melody collection. And I want to take this opportunity in this little tutorial to talk about one little subject that I think is highly important, and particularly for the ukulele. The ukulele has, by its very nature, kind of a short sustain to its strings, and depending upon the wood and the construction, some ukuleles can sustain longer than others, but in general the sound of the string tends to decay rather rapidly. So in having said that, then one of the things that we want to try to do is to emphasize as much or to assist in the sustain of the ukulele sound. So for instance, if I play a G chord, and this song's in the key of G, and if I take my fingers off, the sound is terminated, it's cut off. But as long as I keep the pressure of my fingers down on the strings, here the sound keeps going and going, and eventually it fades out into nothing. So as long as you keep the pressure down, that will keep the string to sustain as long as possible. So now notice when I put my little finger up here onto the 5th fret to get that note, these 3 fingers are still holding down the other strings. Now watch when I go to this D chord. Oops. But see, I keep that bar finger down. If I take it off, if you lift each finger off after each note, you're going to get that very clipped, choppy sound. Otherwise, it would sound like... You don't want that. You want... Go to the E minor. Now it goes open, 2nd fret, and notice these 2 fingers are still down to retain the sound of those notes. Then there's this D7th, which is played with those 2 fingers on the 2nd frets of the 2nd and 4th string. And then this ring finger comes in here and it plays. But when I pick the ring finger off, I don't take these 2 off. Those stay down. That's vitally important for playing the ukulele, and particularly for playing solo instrumental ukulele. Sustain those sounds as long as possible. That takes a lot of patience and forethought in your practice, but it will pay off. So there you have it. Ode to Joy by Beethoven. Enjoy, and as always, happy strumming.